meditate on this. The subconscious mind is like a black hole. It's a vacuum. It pulls in everything that crosses its path. The portals or gateways to the subconscious mind exist on the human body, in the human body. Some of them are called ears, some of them are called eyes. And you receive certain signals and things and messages, etc., through these senses, through these tools for senses, sight, hearing, etc. But no matter what you do, no matter what you put in front of your ears, no matter what you put in front of your eyes, just understand that the subconscious mind is going to receive that and it's going to be embedded within you in perpetuity. It's going to be with you forever. And the people in power know this. The ruling class know this, and they do a damn good job of putting things in there that are not going to lead to quality of thought. It's important that you take control of this and try to embed things with high quality of thought into your subconscious mind, so that when they come back to the surface, when they come back, they pop out on the other side, they're fruitful. They're things that are good for you, things that lead to quality of thought. So try to embed good things in your subconscious mind. Now that we know we have to program the subconscious mind, do that consciously, the next question becomes, with what? I believe we need to start with music. Music is very natural. Everybody loves music. They're even treating dementia with music, because music can take you to the past, bring you to memories, the vibe. Everything is just seems to come into focus clearly. It's easily visualized when you put music and have a soundtrack to your life. And so what type of music do we listen to? You know, it's part of our daily ritual. It's part of our daily dealings in programming the subconscious mind. The type of music we listen to is very important. And think about quality of thought. Is your music going to nurture the idea of quality of thought? Or is it ratchet? Is it supremely ghetto? Is it trash? Or is it breathing life into you? Right? It's the difference between listening to, something that's promoting death as to something that's promoting life. Looking at some of the neurological effects that happen when you listen to certain types of music, nourishing the brain with that type of music. The TV shows you watch, the movies you watch. What type of shows do you watch, and how are you inspired by them? What are the images that are being implanted in your subconscious mind from the movies and TV and the media that you watch, from the things you watch on YouTube, etc., etc. If you look at one of those controversial stories about TikTok, I said that Chinese people, or the Chinese Communist Party, whatever, has a different algorithm than the one for the Western nations. The one in the Western nations, the kids are watching videos that go viral, doing pranks and all types of silly stuff. And China's algorithm is showing kids completing puzzles and doing math. These are the things they're promoting because they understand the
black people were as smart as Hotep Jesus. And I wish all the white people were as smart as Hotep Jesus. And I wish all the Hispanics were as smart as Hotep Jesus. Because that guy, he really gets it. He knows how to boil it down.
Yeah, what type of media are you always being influenced by? What type of media do you constantly force yourself to be influenced by? What if we saw images of love all the time instead of images of destruction, war, etc., etc.?
What type of media is Hotep Jesus influenced by?
I like the old stuff. I like the classics. Mostly written work, literature. That's the type of stuff I listen to.
People were as smart as Hotep Jesus. And I wish all the Hispanics were as smart as Hotep Jesus. Because that guy, he really gets it. He knows how to boil it down.
Like two of my faves. I like listening to scholarly work, scholarly teachers. I go to bed to chess videos, but I also need some gangster in my life.
The views expressed by guests are their own, and their appearance on the program does not imply an endorsement of them or any entity they represent. Views and opinions expressed by Hotep Jesus are those of Hotep Jesus's and do not necessarily reflect the views of the Hotep Nation or any of its officials. If you have any questions about this disclaimer, please contact our Office of General Counsel via the sheet of the pound. And Hotep and them.
Yeah, I can try to get that handled for you. Again, it's only my second day, so if you can give me a second. How I'm supposed to do this? How the hell are we supposed to do this by 5 o'clock?
I have no clue.
Is that possible? Hey, do you have the password to... How'd you finish all your work already?
He's not tapped in. How'd you get that done so quick?
They think they're gonna be able to budget that?
It's money. That's money right there, you understand?
You guys finished your work 6 hours early?
He's not tapped in.
The way things looking, it's a shoo-in for Trump next year. Trump 2024 by a landslide. You heard it here. Well, everybody's saying it. The Grift Report starts now.
2, 1, boom. Hotep Jesus.
Of all the Jesuses I know, he's the Hotepiest. Social scientist and YouTube host, Hotep Jesus.
How the fuck do you get a name like Hotep Jesus?
The one and only Hotep Jesus.
Ryan Sharp, better known to the world as Hotep Jesus.
Hotep Jesus. Hotep Jesus. Hotep Jesus.
Hotep, you're a genius. HotepJesus.com.
Somebody said, what do you think you are, some kind of Hotep Jesus?
Ooh,
and
that's
I was
good.
Just like, ooh, that's sexy. Yes, I do think I'm Hotep Jesus.
So I forgot to tell y'all this. So I'm going to tell you now. Something very interesting happened the other day. I was putting together the CBDC guide, right? Now, yesterday I told you guys about the CBDC guide. I'm publishing that on my locals. I started writing it in my workspace. I have a workspace that I use, and I started writing in my workspace the CBDC guide, and I had made tremendous headway. And something told me, just go ahead and hit Control S, just hit save on it. And I didn't hit save. Some moments later, the program reset on its own. Very odd. And I lost all my work. I wanted to give up. I wanted to just get up and just walk away from the desk and say, fuck it. I'll work on it some other time. And I immediately caught that emotion and I said, well, I'm going to do the exact opposite. So immediately within that same moment, I just began to rewrite the thing. I just rewrote it. I just started all over again, fresh. And the funny thing is, the second time it came out better. I think my first initial notes were very detailed. And on the second go round, I was able to actually, as Alex Jones say, I was able to boil it down and make the concept simpler the second time I went through it. So it was sort of like a blessing. And it was much more organized and in a way that people could easily navigate. So it actually became better. And I think, that's the lesson to be learned here is sometimes, life knocks you down. And, when you get right back up and you fight back and you put action in, you get double what you were supposed to get with the previous action. The simulation tests you. You are put through trials and tribulations. And the trials and tribulations aren't put there to trip you up. They're not there to trip you up. There's not like some, weird God that's like, is cynical and has a sense of humor. The trials and tribulations are put there to create your story.
Hotep, you're a genius. HotepJesus.com.
The trials and tribulations are put there because those are the things that make you. You are a collection of trials and tribulations and tests. That's what you are. And your status in life can be translated as a grade for how well you've passed those tests. So when you pass those tests, like I said, usually you come out the other side all the way up.
I wish all the black people were as smart as Hotep Jesus. And I wish all the white people were as smart as Hotep Jesus. And I wish all the Hispanics were as smart as Hotep Jesus. Because that guy, he really gets it. He knows how to boil it down.
Oh, my God. Oh, my God. Descendant of Loki, back again, gifted another 10 Hotep Jesus memberships. I appreciate you, bro. I really do. I really do. I really appreciate you. What up, Kay? How y'all feeling, man? It's Friday. We made it. We made it. There's no terrorist threats. No bombings, no nothing like that. You know what I'm saying? We made it. Yeah, hit the like button. Hit the like button, all the formalities like that. So anyway, moral of the story is go sign up for my locals, hotepjesus.locals.com. I'll be publishing my full CBDC guide there. It's going to be interactive and updated periodically, and sporadically, because, obviously I cover this stuff daily. So as new news comes, it'll be updated live, and I'll just keep that as like a pinned thing. Like, you want to learn CBDCs, sign up for my locals, and it'll be right there. What else? Oh, another thing, another thought on my mind. Just some downloads here for you. Menoforder.com, right? Every time I play that fucking commercial, it says trymasterfocus.com. It's not trymasterfocus.com anymore. It's menoforder.com. So I had to add to my to-do list to make sure we get a new ending to that commercial. We're just going to cut out that last part. And then when we get the new bottles in, because we're changing the packaging, we're changing the branding, everything's coming out new. We got a new product coming out. But I think when we update the packaging, I was trying to figure out how to take a couple of scenes out and swap the bottle in some of those scenes. I think we can definitely have him reshoot that one scene where he's employed a month. The bottle toss, I might just leave in there. I might leave the bottle toss in there because you can't really see it, So I think we only have to take the bottle out 2 scenes, just patch up that video and run it right back. But we'll be shooting some more. That was Savo you saw in that commercial, the Master Focus commercial. So we'll be shooting more with him. Shout out to Savo. Menoforder.com. That's where you go to get your brain supplements, brain support. It's one of the secret weapons of Hotepistan. Hotepistan, when we rebuild men, when we make men operate at peak male performance. Now, keep in mind, right? Some people have been quite averse to my apprehension of introducing dead animals into the diet of the citizens of Hotepistan. And I know that's a bit shocking for many. But I want people to understand that Hotepistan is a technologically advanced, scholarly warrior tribe. Okay? Technologically advanced, scholarly warrior tribe. Much like Wakanda. Okay? We are a warrior tribe. Okay? So, whatever diet decisions we make are going to be for peak male performance, high or optimal testosterone levels, okay? Just want y'all to keep that in mind, that we will be creating
soldiers in Hotepistan. Okay? We will be creating soldiers. All right? I just want y'all to know that. I just want y'all to know that. And we're not creating soldiers because we want to go to war. We're not creating soldiers because we're creating some revolution. No, we're creating soldiers because we want to be a disciplined tribe. We want to be a disciplined tribe. We want to be the exemplification of humanity. This is how we build our utopia. Okay? I just want everybody to know it's going to peak male performance, peak female performance. I mean, every woman gets a sewing machine and an apron upon entrance into Hotepistan. We will have a glorious time together. I cannot wait. I cannot wait. Remember, Hotep's been told you.
Oh, this a real Hotep brother.
Hold on, let's play the clip. Some people ain't see the clip. Let's play the clip. Haters gonna say this is AI. Why didn't it pop up? What? All right, there we go. Haters gonna say it's AI.
I wish all the black people were as smart as Hotep Jesus. And I wish all the white people were as smart as Hotep Jesus. And I wish all the Hispanics were as smart as Hotep Jesus. Because that guy, he really gets it. He knows how to boil it down. So
I'm going to run that clip into the ground.
I wish all the black people were as smart as Hotep Jesus.
I'm going to run that clip into the ground. I'm just giving y'all a fair warning. I'm going to just give y'all a fair warning. You know what I'm saying? He said I was watching live, not AI. Great guest appearance the other day. I really enjoyed your analysis. Had to get on here and give you a follow. Thank you, Dave McCourt. Been meaning to watch your appearance on his Alex Jones show last week. I got it bookmarked in my read later folder. I'll watch it when I get some time. Man, watch the Grift Report. All these people, man, they think they know me, but they never come to the Grift Report. Pull up. I'm going to show you some things. All right. I'm going to reach down into the Grift bag, and it's Friday, so we got a couple of nuggets to fill in the show. Take this out of here. Why is that in there? Let's go to Michael Rapaport first. We'll go to Charlie Kirk next. Let's go to Michael Rapaport first.
There's been other things too. There's other times where I'm sure, like, for Dick Stain Donald Trump, who I had conversations with, I might vote for that motherfucker. Oh yeah, I'll break the.
All right, that's all we need to play. We don't need to play the rest of this. That's all we needed to play. We don't need to play the rest of it.
I had conversations with, I might vote for that motherfucker. Oh yeah, I'll break the.
That's it. That's all you needed. He said he might vote for him. It's a lot of things swaying to the right now. It feels very Hotep's been told you-ish. Or if you read Carol Quigley-ish. Carol Quigley been told you. Oh, man, this is such a rad time. I've never used the word rad before. I think that's the first time I've ever used the word rad. This is such a rad time to live in. To where you get to see with your own eyes the political pendulum switch. It comes about once every 60 years, maybe once every generation. I think that's what this is. This might be if my estimations serve me correctly, this might be one of those generational switches. Maybe. I mean, it could be temporary. But it just feels, at least for now, like a strong political shift to the right. And that might seem obvious to some and plain old to others. What are you getting at here, Hotep Jesus? It's eerie. It reminds me of the realization that CBDC makes you like cash, fiat. It's like the beast has designed the game so well that it'll have you celebrating parts of your oppression because things could get worse. The game's locked down everywhere you look. It's all locked down. And it's such a genius design. So they have this pendulum switch to the right. And I want to say it's all controlled. It's all controlled. It's calculated. It's on schedule. It's all controlled. It's all controlled. Now, I guess it gets a little eerie because, you know, the lives that have to be lost during a switch. That's what makes it really eerie. The lives that are lost during the switch. And knowing that people are okay with having groups of people obliterated, just wiped off the face of this planet by the tens of thousands. By the tens of thousands. With advanced weaponry. With events that look like not what it is. You definitely got to get low. 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 But you got to get high too. You got to get low, you got to get high. You got to get the high ground. Got to beef up your bread. You know, you got to go out there and get your chicken. You got to hustle. I mean, the game's always been the game. The game, you know, everybody fascinates about Rome. The game was the game in Rome. The senators conspired at every turn. They conspired against an emperor when they had an emperor, and they conspired when there was no emperor. In fact, they were probably better off under the emperor until they got to Caligula. Was just terrible. Oh my God. How did the fact that they allowed him to even rule, like, yeah, there was some flaws in Rome. But the senators, what do we have today? We got our senators. And our senators, again, conspire. They conspire, right? New conspiracy, obviously, is the shift, the big shift. And you know what makes this big shift crazy? Charlie Kirk. Charlie Kirk is let's pull this up on the screen, because this is really where my emotional analysis lies. I want to play this clip from Charlie Kirk, because I never thought I'd hear Charlie Kirk say something like this. But if there's anything indicative of a manipulated political switch.
Let's go to this. Jewish communities have been pushing the exact kind of hatred against whites that they claim to want people to stop using against them. Now, I don't like generalizations. Not every Jewish person believes that. But it is true, the Anti-Defamation League was part and parcel with Black Lives Matter. It is true that some of the largest financiers of left-wing, anti-white causes have been Jewish Americans. They went all in on woke, and it wasn't just ADL. It was some of the top Jewish organizations in the country that have done that. In fact, we have seen this with the recent retreat of Jewish donations that are no longer going to be administered to colleges, right? Mark Rowan, Leon Kopperman. Can we get that full list? It's very powerful. The part of the, so that's totally true. And by the way, Tucker Carlson reinforces this. So I'm going to it was quite a day on the internet. We have seen this with the recent retreat of Jewish donations that are no longer going to be administered to colleges, right? Mark Rowan, Leon Kopperman.
Mark Rowan. Who was the other one he said? Oh, shit. Hold on. Oh, hold on. Okay. Apollo CEO Mark Rowan calls on University of Pennsylvania donors to send just $1 in protest until 2 leaders resign over anti-Semitism allegations. Okay, so let me refocus now. So what is Charlie Kirk trying to say here? Oh, okay. I see the implication here. I guess what he's trying to say is they've been paying these colleges to push a certain agenda. Or maybe this is not what he's saying, but this is what I'm reading into what he said. Mark Rowan and others pull their donations because of anti-Semitism. But they were big money going into these universities. Rowan is a co-founder and CEO of a graduate university at Penn. Says Penn. Where's this list he's talking about? Because he said Mark Rowan was another one. Both Hill and Warriors have denied accusations of anti-Semitism in the past. Change of controversial ideas. West face Mark Lamont Hill. Former CNN contributor who was let go from the network in 2018 following a speech in which activists claim he used coded language advocating for the destruction of Israel. Oof. Damn. Palestine Rights Festival had featured well-known anti-Semites. So, I'm sorry. Coming back. This is something I never expected Charlie Kirk to say. Zula said, are they going to get the Kanye treatment? Doubt it. I don't know. So, I never thought I'd hear Charlie Kirk say something like that. The sad part is this is just a clip, and I would like more. This is not enough to just, because like AF Post says Charlie Kirk names the Jew, right? And we all know what that means, right? And I'm like, is that really all that's happening in this clip? I feel like there's a big but coming somewhere, and it's not in this clip. But even for Charlie Kirk, though, this is pretty big. For Charlie Kirk to say this, that's what makes this different, is the fact that Charlie Kirk said this. It's like, oh, damn. Charlie, you actually utter those words? So, coming back to the original premise, money's moving around. money's getting shifted, and when money getting shifted, that's coming back to what I was saying before about this big generational political flip. I mean, Michael Rapaport, is saying it's okay. I mean, everybody's coming out saying it's okay to vote for Trump now. I think anti-Semitism plays a huge role in all of this, though. And that's part of that political flip. That political flip seems to coincide with anti-Semitism. Like anti-Semitism and the big political flip seem to always coincide in that generational flip. You saw it happen in Russia. We saw it happen in Germany. Establishing lands. It's because when people talk about like Jews establishing land, hold on, let me see if I can show you something. Hold on. I think this was one of the Tsarina. Hold on. Tsarina. Hold on. There was an agreement made. All right, hold on. Wait, why wouldn't it? Wow, it. Why wouldn't you mention there? All right. Oh, okay, here it is. All right, let's pull this up. I was about to say, like, how you not gonna put her name up here? Like, all right, here she goes. All right, so here you got, in Russia, it was called the Pale Settlement, right? It says right here, Western region of the Russian Empire, varying borders existed from, it says right here, 1791? You don't get the Russian Revolution to early 19th century, right? 1913 or something like that, to 1917, right? In which permanent residency by Jews was allowed, and beyond which Jewish residency, permanent or temporary, was mostly forbidden, right? So this place, Pale Settlement, was for the Jews, right? Because it says beyond which Jewish residency, permanent or temporary, was mostly forbidden. So they couldn't live outside of this region, right? So it's not odd to say that they didn't have a designation because they were given land, right? So this is where you live. And it says right here, the Pale came into being under the rule of Catherine the Great. That's the Tsarina I was trying to think of. Catherine the Great, 1791. Initially as a measure to speed colonization of territory of the Black Sea recently acquired from the Ottoman Empire, Jews were allowed to expand the territory available to them, but in exchange, Jewish merchants could no longer do business in non-Pale Russia. Okay? So that's what makes this story interesting. Is like there's been the settlement of Jews has been like, this is a several century thing, right? There's a few centuries that they've been trying to settle somewhere. All right, so come back. Let's come back now. So, actually, is there any political information in this? Probably no. Yeah, you're not going to find it in this article. I'd have to dig. So coming back, when you have this switch, right? This large wave of anti-Semitism. Borders begin to, decisions within borders begin to change, and borders change. So, it's going to be a big shift coming up, I think. He said, I wish Hotep Jesus was as smart as Hotep Jesus profiting. He said, interesting name. Zulu, member for 3 months. What up, Zulu? Thank you. He said, are they going to get the Kanye treatment? Doubt it. I don't know. What up, Strong Dad? What up, Fresh Mike? Mo Fax in the house. What up, Mo? Jabari in the house. What up, man? Rudy, what up? What up? Justine. So again, strong shift to the right. It's kind of like the perfect time to do it too. You know what was like the first tip off? Like, I could probably go to End Wokeness account right now. Like, just the whole idea of End Wokeness is kind of like really right wing. I could probably go here and they'll have like, because we had some reprieve, right? Okay, so here we go. So right here you get, you know, this white hatred, right? This white hatred. So you get this white victimhood amongst the right, right? And the victimhood is sort of like, you know, it doesn't have to be a catalyst, but it can be a catalyst for like white pride, right? It can be healthy, but when you do it off of victimhood, it's unhealthy. So they're concerned, like these are grown adults, and they're concerned with what high school kids are saying, you know, whatever. And I'm not saying they shouldn't be concerned. However, the issue is intellectual thought is being dictated by the left, and the left is kicking your ass. And they showing you because these kids is going viral, creating intellectual thought. Whether it's smart or dumb or not, they're critically thinking. They saying some dumb ass shit, you know. These kids sound like straight up morons. I should play the video so we can all hear how idiotic they sound and break down the brainwashing. In fact, we probably will do that. But where are the right-wing intellectuals? I think right-wingism, that's why Alex had to say this shit.
I wish all the black people were as
That's
smart
why he
as
had to
Hotep
say that.
Jesus. And I wish all the white people were as smart as Hotep Jesus. And I wish all the Hispanics were as smart as Hotep Jesus. Because that guy, he really gets it. He knows how to boil it down.
Where are y'all intellectuals? And then, you know, you guys run to, you know, the strangest characters in the world. Like, your new celebrity is Tiffany Gomez, right? A chick who fucking freaked out on the airplane, right? Kyle Rittenhouse, just a poor kid who shot a couple of people, right? Happened to catch a body, or two maybe. And I like Kyle. It's just not an intellectual giant. Y'all ran to the swimmer chick, Riley Reid or something like that. I'm not mad at it, but this is the youth you've picked to make heroes out of. And the left the left controls education, so they're pumping out way more intellectual property than you are. And it's just like, when you pick y'all don't even got nobody to battle David Hogg, and David Hogg is an intellectual midget. And y'all can't even do nothing with his fat ass. Let's go to the kids, and I'll break down the brainwashing of them. But that's the issue. The issue is you become a victim and then produce nothing of your own as a consequence.
We demand that white Christians be held accountable for America's original sin. The negative continues the trend in politics while we demand that
stop right there.
White Christians be held accountable for America's original sin.
So he thinks that white Christians built this country. White Christians didn't build this country. Okay, this country was built by Freemasons. This is the huge red pill for everybody, okay? America was built by Freemasons, okay?
Hotep, you're a genius. HotepJesus.com.
Bohemian Grove, Illuminati, hello. Do y'all need to go watch some more Alex Jones documentaries before you come watch this show? Okay, listen. So he's wrong there. Let's continue.
The negative continues the trend in politics while whiteness devours the other.
While whiteness devours the other.
Debating this topic is irrelevant while society is dominated by white Christians. Even if we have something educational to say about this topic, the political will just pray it away and continue their mission to
So he says it's dominated by white Christians. This is a huge contradiction to what everybody is arguing about. Bin Laden said Jews control everything. He's saying Christians control everything. You can't have that type of disparity without, at the end of the day, saying, okay, maybe they have a cooperation. Maybe they're working together. Maybe they're in cahoots. Maybe white Christianity and Jews are working together. But you can't just say, hey, it's on white Christians. This is it's not only heretical, but it's disrespectful to someone's religion. To say it's disrespectful to the religion. But this is a preemptive move by the left to demonize or to associate right-wingism with Christianity, white Christian nationalism, which you see rising. This is that swing, right? So the left is identifying it and positioning everybody else around white Christian nationalism. This is that swing. This is what Goldstein talks about, where everybody's being weaponized and put in their back. So even the left is putting stock into white Christian nationalism. And they're getting ahead of that because that's what the right is pushing. For the right, being a white Christian or being a Christian is a grift. It's a grift. The other day we saw Candace Owens, quoting the Bible. Now, I'm not saying people can't come to Jesus and all of that. All I'm saying is there's a shift towards that. And everybody knows it. Everybody knows it's a grift. Everybody knows it's a grift. It's a grift. It's been a grift. Some of the greatest grifters are preachers and pastors. So when you get the influencers who get to pimp the masses off of religion, I mean, you just quote a few Bible tweets and it's just like, oh, I love this person. It's like, oh, that's all it took. They just typed some shit from the book of John and now you're like, they're the greatest person in the world, you fucking dumbass. This is where we're at now. All right, let's go back.
Conquer the world in the name of Jesus Christ.
The military and
in the name of Jesus Christ. Lord have mercy.
Industrial complex has been coupled with American Christianity, the worship of the weapons of whiteness.
The United States was built to be a city upon a hill for white Christians. American Christianity has controlled all aspects of politics, such as justifying slavery. We solved by decoupling weapons and worships and
now Christianity did justify slavery. That came straight out of the Vatican. But that's the Pope in them. That don't represent all Christians. Although, Rome kind of did make Christianity what it is. You know what I'm saying? It did. But you also had orthodoxy that was heavy in Russia, heavy orthodoxy in Russia. So you can't do a blanket statement like that. I would like to be more, and that's what makes this, partly accurate, because it would make much more sense to say, if you wanted to be right and exact, you would say the Vatican or the Pope. Right? That's very specific. That's why I say, you got to be careful when you talk, because if you would have said, I'll show you right here. I'll show it to you right here. Hold on. Hold on. All right. Right here. Right. You got this edict that comes out of Pope Nicholas V, the papal bull, right? It's called Dum Diversus. This is the edict that came out right here. Support the Portuguese claims regarding territory in Africa. This is when they were going in, and you know what I'm saying? But this papal bull Dum Diversus is where they decide that it's okay to enslave people. So you can't really put that under Christianity. You got to put that on right here. Pope Nicholas V. 1452. Like, be right and exact if you're going to teach the kids. You know what I'm saying? So right here, the raids and attacks on Reconquista created captives on both sides who were ransomed and sold as slaves. Slaves. Where's the other one? So then Pope Paul comes in and changes the rule, right? To unjust enslavement of non-Christians. And that came in Sublimus, Sublimus DEI, Sublimus Deus, Sublimus Du, I guess is how you pronounce that. So again, all of this comes out of the Vatican, out of the Pope. So let's go back. And that's what makes this rhetoric dangerous, because you clump a whole bunch of people together. That's why you can't say like all Jews are bad, because you clump a whole lot of people together. It's really, you gotta be more specific. You know, if you want to say, yo, I don't fuck with the ADL or I don't fuck with Bernard Briff, all right, that's being very specific. Those are specific organizations. That's not anti-Semitic at all.
Justifying slavery. We solve by decoupling weapons and warships and ending the crusade. White Christians literally inscribe scriptures onto their weapons, worshiping through war. We want to repent for our sins.
Again, he got to be right and exact. He got to just say, yo, the Vatican did this. They not teaching the kids that, though. They just saying, oh, this is white Christianity.
Show America's failure. By voting for us, the judge will send his signal to political leaders and condemn Christianity in politics.
It ends up being a 2-1 for Livingston. The affirmative tells me, in summary and final focus, that the role of the ballot for me is to reject Christian militarism. So at the end of the day, I'm left with deciding which side I think is doing a better job rejecting Christian militarism.
We demand that white Christians be held accountable for America's original sin.
That opening statement, we demand that white Christians be held accountable. Mofax said it's meant to be confusing. That's correct. That's correct. That's correct. Absolutely. Jabari said, if you look at European history, whose descendants run this country? There is always a rise in anti-Semitism whenever there's a change in government. Divide population to get the slenders under control. Yeah, that's exactly what it is. It always seems to have some sort of anti-Semitism along with it. Because if it's not racism, then what else do you got? You got anti-Semitism. They tried to make Islamophobia work. It didn't really work. It kind of worked. No, actually, it really did work. It just didn't. It doesn't work the same as with black people and Jews. Like just those two things carry so much currency, mostly because you have the documentation of the slaughter, right? You have the promotion and the marketing of the slaughter, mostly, right? I mean, you don't see promotion and marketing of I'll show you. Right here. You don't get this. You know what I'm saying? This is King Leopold. I think it was the third. that practiced the Ma'afa. It's called the Ma'afa. Let's just type in you can do Conk Ma'afa. Here we go. Ma'afa imperialism. So this is the Belgian conquest where, you know, millions of Africans are slaughtered. Wait. Damn. All right, I got to go to Russia. I'm sorry. I wish we could have did this with Google, but it's just a shame that Google, not even Google fucking shows this shit. All right, so this one right here. No, that's not it. Is this it? I think it's like 12.5 million. It's all right, yeah, here we go. 12.5 million. Yeah. But I think that's just the slave trade. So right here, and it's the funny thing is, Jabari, who the Belgians sell their slaves to? What company was it? Was it the Dutch East Indian Company? I don't want to start looking this shit up. This the geek shit I be sitting here doing when I be researching. Who did the Belgians sell their slaves to? Cause it is like, anyway. So 2 million tortured and perished during the journey. I don't know, but this isn't marketed. That's my point. My point of the matter is the Ma'afa in Belgium's not marketed. And that shit was pretty fucking gruesome and brutal. Stalin's death toll isn't marketed. Nobody talks about Stalin's death toll. And the funny thing is, if we're going to talk about Ukraine, you got to talk about Stalin. Like, how you going to talk about Ukraine and not talk about Stalin? You want to talk about the subjugation of Jews as Stalin. Let's watch this. It's like really, that's how you know the communist Jews run this shit. Because you got capitalist Jews, you got communist Jews. Stalin, that one was called the Holodomor. Here it is. The Holodomor. This is the Ukrainian genocide. This is brought about by communism. He starved these people. So they say 3.5 to 7 million. Death toll 3.9 million. Does it say anything about Jews in this? Let me see. See, they be omitting shit, man. I gotta go to Russia. Hold on. I gotta go to Russia. My bad. I don't know why I keep using Google. No, I don't want that one. Oh, this one's spicy. So here we get a huge conspiracy theory of Jews killing Jews. It's just Jew on Jew crime. So here they say 6 million Ukrainian Christians. So this is one conspiracy. I shouldn't even be showing y'all all this. This shit. Hold on. Here's another one. What's this one? Oh, this is a letter. I would have to sit down and just read this. This is a good source right here. Like, these are the sources I like. These are the sources I like. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna bookmark that. I'm gonna come back and we're gonna read that. All right. But my point's made. They don't market it, right? They don't market it. Look up the Bobby Yar massacre. Hold up. Let's pull that up. Oh, shit. Yeah, I went to the first link I found and look what I got. Keep using Google. Stop using Google, Hotep. Damn. Okay. Right outside the Ukrainian capital, Kiev. Kiev's history is crazy, bro. Oh, man. Largest mass shooting. So, this is an extermination of Jews in Ukraine by Germany. Yeah. So you can't, it's really hard to talk about these topics when there's so much history to them. There's so much interwovenness. What's the name of the Russian Google? It's called Yandex. Yeah, I use Yandex. But my point's made, right? The fact of the matter is the right wing's getting whooped and they keep calling it the culture war. Now my mind just stopped me. I didn't want to use that term. This isn't a culture war. I mean, it is. But you have to get more specific. Culture is just way too broad. This is an intellectual war, bro. Like, this is a war of intelligence. That's why it makes sense for Alex Jones to have the show called InfoWars. This is an information war, bro. This is, and we're behind. The right is behind. When it comes to information, the right is behind. They can't fucking. I thought about it today. I was doing some DJing shit. I was doing some DJing Web3 shit. Fucking bridging Ethereum and all types of that shit. I'm gonna post my play. I already bought some shit on Pancake Swap. I'm gonna post my play in the locals. I don't know if we'll make money, but it's a gamble. It's a stretch. But I put something down. But I don't know if you could teach a right wing person how to degen, man, and work Web3. I don't know. It's a lot. It's involved. It's involved. You try to make a transaction, you need gas fees, and you gotta move assets around. It's you're your own bank. You're your own bank. You literally have to, move your money around. It's a lot of responsibility, and I don't know if a lot of people want that responsibility. All right, let's get to some big brain shit. I'm tired of talking about this shit. Let's go back. So, hold on. I want to bring up the tweet. Here it is. So the more I dive into the CBD stuff, shout out to my sponsor, Syscoin. Syscoin Big Brain updated today. I said CBDC so bad it make fiat look good. Because I caught myself defending myself today. Right? I'll show you that tweet. Hold on. No, not that one. We'll get to that one. Here we go. So we got this response. This is a video. I'll play it right now.
National propositions. To have transactions more efficient and fairer, we need systems that connect countries. In other words, we need interoperability. And for this reason, at the IMF, we are working hard on the concept of a global CBDC platform.
Global CBDC, right? So then Howie asks, he says, what are the dangers of CBDC? This dude says loss of your liberty. He said, please explain how exactly. I mean, you're just talking about a straight violation of the Fourth Amendment. And it's pretty much, when they talk about liberty, you're talking about the Constitution. You talk about the Constitution, you're talking about amendments. You're just snooping pretty much, right? No privacy. So he has a couple of points here, how he does. He says, I've done years of investigating government corruption as well as digital currencies. I want to see what the people think and open a conversation about it because my personal views have changed drastically over the years after learning. Let's address your complaints further. China has it. So I take this as a bit of a thought experiment here, right? China has it. Yeah, so do a few other countries. Now, why is that bad? Well, it's not all bad It's not all bad. I mean, it's not bad for us. I mean, it's bad for the people who had their lives destroyed, right? Like the people in Nigeria who had their lives destroyed when the government told them that fiat was banned. It's not bad for us. For Nigerians, I guess it's just Nigerians, right? So why is it good? Well, it's good because we get to see what the fuck they're doing everybody else with the CBDC. Bad is we're next, right? Let's go to the second one. It says only digital money. This is a fair point, but not really a danger in any way, more of an inconvenience at times when maybe the store loses internet, but could be addressed by a delayed payment system similar to how gas stations charge now. Yeah, I mean, you could do offline payments like that. Russia's looking at offline payments. The best offline payment system I saw worked was basically you just dedicate a certain amount of credits. Let's just call them credits. Let's call them what they are. A certain amount of credits to a wallet, and it's called an offline wallet, and it stays there. So if the system goes down, you have money stored in that offline wallet. So obviously there's a limit of however much you store. So to me, that kind of made the most sense for an offline CBDC. Obviously you have the assumption that the payment network systems will come back online. So with blockchain technology, you can have layer 2 solutions, and they'll settle, when L1 comes back. Also, you lose internet in your location. Some of these settlements could take place on your phone. Your phone could act as a node. So offline payments are heavily worked on right now. And let's talk about digital money, though. So the digital money is much different than what you have now, right? What you have now is credits in an account. And you have an agreement with a service provider about to hold those deposits or those credits. It's called your bank, right? So you have an agreement and you say, hey, you're going to store these, here's how we operate and do business. You agree to that, and that is what it is. Okay, cool. Programmable money, which is what a CBDC is, doesn't care about what you and your bank say. Okay? Fuck you and your bank and your contract. We control the actual money. So they can program the money and say, look, I know you got a contract with them, but this CBDC right here, my nigga, this CBDC right here, this shit right here that we created, yeah, there's a cap on this. There's rules to this actual currency. Come from a legislative level. On the actual money. Like, we thought we had rules and regulation on the actual money before. But now, with smart contracts, programmable money, this shit is real time. This isn't, this is as simple as an executive order. This is as simple as an executive order, and like that, everything's updated. Limits on the money. Now they put limits on the money. What's the name of the bill they just dropped a few years back? It was no more than like 4 years ago. I think it was 2018. Where they said, anything above $10,000, you got to report. Right? Anytime you do a transaction of $10,000 or more, you got to report. You ain't got to report shit with the CBDC. It's going to limit you right from the currency itself. So let's just move on, because I can stay on number 2 all day long. You say or do anything that the government doesn't like, they shut off your money. What makes you think this doesn't already happen? See Kanye West mishap and attacks on Elon Musk's finances. Those are both great examples, right? And he's absolutely right. Like, we already have a social credit system in place. It's not official, it's unofficial, but we already have a social credit system in place. The issue is you have people like Nimarata, so-called Nikki Haley, who wants to attach your digital ID to your social media account. Your digital ID is going to be attached to a wallet or held in a wallet. And now everything's interconnected. So when they want to turn you off, there is no, subpoena anybody to court or call a judge. No, they are going to completely sidestep the legal system until further notice. Because before you would have to say, yo, call down the legal, tell legal to send a letter to Elon for this person's account. We want it zapped. But when everything's linked, they go, oh, yo, go hit the red button on that nigga right there. And they just shut everything down with the click of a button. They don't got to call legal or nothing. There's no letters being sent. They'll just adjust everything right from your chip. That's how they're going to have the system set up. You are your chip. You are your chip. And again, the CBDC and the digital ID are swappable. They can be substituted for each other. If you have a CBDC, you have a wallet. If you have a wallet, you have a digital ID. If you don't have a digital ID, you have a fucking CBDC and a wallet. Either way, we got you. Everything's going to be attached to that. So number 4, it says no savings. This is definitely not okay, but I don't think it has to be this way. Just because of a CBDC, this is just one system. Fair point. Fair point. It doesn't have to be this way. You're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. It does not have to be this way. Let me see if there's anything online about this. I want to say there's some link between communism and saving money. What was it, like no inheritance? So I know communism hated inheritance. They like banned it. They like banned inheritance. Just savings accounts are like antithetical to savings is just to communism. It just is. I don't want to take up more time looking stuff up. I can find all my sources. You guys trust me by now. But you should do your own research anyway. So, again, programmable money can make it so that you can't save your money, right? It's going to charge you every time you save. I mean, technically, you already get charged for your savings. It's called inflation. But anyway. Number 5, it seems you are afraid of it because China uses it in ways you don't like and are against. And I get that. But if the current concern is that if your own government uses it, it will be the same, then your issue is not with the CBDC, but actually the trust of our government. So I like his attempt here at using his brain, right? He's at least attempting to use his brain, right? Not using it well. I wouldn't say he's using it well. It's circular logic, right? Because our trust in government is completely obvious. We lack it. That is obvious. That goes without being said. The point in discussing CBDC is to analyze a mechanism of this government we don't trust. You're correct. Our issue is not with the CBDC. It is with our government. However, this is one of its arms. This is one of the beast's arms. This octopus. Oh, am I allowed to say that? Or something? This three-headed hydra. Right here. One of his arms is right there. So we're looking at it and we're going, hey, bro, like, government, look, you know, you doing a lot of shit, but this shit right here, yeah, this shit right here not cool. I got a lot of beefs with you, but this right here, we're gonna need to renegotiate that contract. We're gonna need to negotiate this contract on this CBDC. Because the truth of the matter is, you're right. You're right. You know, in fucking La La Land, you know, we get to sit down at the table with the government and tell the government, hey, look, we're the people. The United States dollar is backed by us. So if you decide to create a CBDC, here are the rules that we lay out for said CBDC, including privacy if we so wish. But also, we all get 1% on our money, 2% on our money. Some shit to default your fuckery, right? We should be the ones. We shouldn't be paying a premium on our money. You're fucking creating the money out of thin air, passing along treasury bonds, and the treasury bonds are just a promise you're going to tax my ass. So this is my fucking money, bro. But it's not the fucking world we live in. Our politicians are trash. They're not going to go and negotiate a good contract. So the goal is to educate people about CBDCs so they can talk to people about this. We can become a smarter society so when these things are discussed in Congress, we don't look like idiots. Because, coming back to my point, it is an intellectual battle. Intellectual. I want to take a second and try to find this. Can y'all forgive me? It might take me a minute. Or it might take me a few seconds. I want to just find this. I don't remember the wording I used. But I just want to show you how this is a game of intellectualism. Hold on, let's bring this up. This is straight from my book, The Patriot Report, Unmasking Conspiracy of Money and War. Okay.
Hotep, you're a genius. HotepJesus.com.
Give me a second. All right, where are we? So the character's name is William Jennings Bryan, right? Secretary of State, World War I. He's under Wilson. Okay. Wilson's got Mandel House in his ear. No, not this. I don't want none of this. Damn. See, me and him got the same name, so I can't even do a name search. All right, let's see here. Hold on, let's see. It might be right here. No. No. I'm sorry. I just like to document. I like to document shit, you know, and just so I can say, yo, we covered this. Is it this chapter? I feel like. Oh, yeah, it's not that chapter. It's after the Lusitania. Just goes into here we go. Found it. Ooh, nice scroll. All right. I told you I could do this. So right here, this is Patriot Report by yours truly. page 183, it says, historian Charles C. Tansel says Secretary Bryant was hit with a barrage of technical terms. Right here. Let me highlight this so I never have to look for it again. All right, beautiful. And I'll save it when I'm done. Was hit with a barrage of technical terms. Now, this was at... Wait till you see what this is for. Okay. So it's talking about J.P. Morgan, right? On August 15, Secretary Bryant sent the following telegram to Morgan and Company, to which they relented. He said this. He said, there is no reason why loans should not be made to the governments of neutral nations. But in the judgment of this government, loans by American bankers to any foreign nation which is at war are inconsistent with the true spirit of neutrality. Okay? So he's basically saying to J.P. Morgan and them, like, bro, you loaning money. You know what I mean? You a U.S. corporation and you loaning money out in the middle of a war. Like, we can't be doing what, bro. Like, what are we doing here? Okay. So I continued. I said, it seems the hero of the story, Brian, underestimated the craftiness of the bankers. National City Bank President Frank A. Vanderlip found a loophole. Instead of loaning money to the Allied powers, he would instead invest in them. So it's not a loan anymore. Now it's an investment. Vanderlip, the French ambassador, the French ambassador to Vanderlip, Jules Jusserin, said, at the present time, 10 million one-year Treasury warrants could be sold in the United States at 6% basis, not to the public, but to large institutions to whom an appeal could be made on the other than strictly investment lines. This would be on the condition, however, that the transaction is not objected to by our government of Washington and that the proceeds of these securities remain on deposit until expended exclusively for the products of the United States. All right. So this is where Vanderlip was talking about Brian was hit with a bunch of technical terms. He said during a conference with Vanderlip agent, afterwards Secretary Bryant reversed his position. Our hero was outmaneuvered. Vanderlip agent sent a letter to Councilor Lansing. He said, buying power of these foreign purchasers will go to Australia, Canada, Argentina, and elsewhere. If we allow these purchases to go elsewhere, we will have neglected our foreign trade at the time of our greatest need and greatest opportunity. Okay. Grant short-time bank credits to European governments, both belligerent and neutral, and where necessary or desirable, replenish their cash balances on this side by the purchase of short-time treasury warrants. Such purchases would necessarily be limited to the legal capacity of the bank, and as these warrants are bearer warrants without interest, they could not and would not be made the subject of public issue. So he's basically saying is, well, if we buy bonds, is that loaning money? It's like, oh, we can't loan them money? All right, we'll just buy their bonds. Yo, these bankers is something else, I'm telling you. During Secretary Bryant's absence, Lansing prepared a memorandum entitled Summary of Information in Regard to Credits of Foreign Governments in this Country and the Relation to Trade. President Wilson's response to Lansing reads, and then he goes on here. Okay, so this is the loophole. I kind of touched on it there, but oh, wait. Right. Okay. So Secretary Bryant steps away. He takes a leave of absence or something like that. But he steps away and Robert Lansing takes his place. Right. Okay. That's why we got this statement from Lansing. Okay. All right. So Lansing and Morgan meet. right? One of the Morgan agents, Willard Straight, this is all J.P. Morgan shit. They met at the Metropolitan Club, Washington, October 24th. So then at Morgan's testimony at the Nye Committee. Now, this is another interesting thing. You guys want to read the Nye Commission and the report coming out of the Nye Committee. Very interesting things there. So Morgan, he admits to a lot. He says, we were using him at that time to get information for us where he could. He had relations here in Washington at times that he could see people without making any public notice of it. So again, here, another instance of intelligence is paramount. Intelligence is key. This is an intellectual war. You need information, okay? Wars are won based upon information. So they tell you it's a culture war? No, it's an information war. Alex Jones been told you.
Hotep, you're a genius. HotepJesus.com.
When the French found themselves under temporary credit. Okay. So you know how we lend, they always say, we lend money to Israel. And then they say, but Israel spends it on American products, right? That's not exclusive to Israel, because it says right here, 3 banking giants came to their aid in the form of temporary credit to be spent on American products. This is things that they've been practicing, okay? So we'll give you money, but you got to buy American products. It's J.P. Morgan, National City, and First National Bank. So it says right here, the 3 firms sent a joint signed letter to Secretary Bryan on March 25th, 1915 for the exchange of $50 million in 1-year Treasury notes. It says right here, with the loophole being exploited, the helpless Secretary Bryan did not oblige nor object to the credit transfer. In March 31st, 1915 press release, he wrote the following: the State Department has from time to time received information directly or indirectly to the effect that belligerent nations had arranged with banks in the United States for credits of various sums. While loans to belligerents have been disapproved, this government has not felt that it was justified in interposing objection to the credit arrangements which have been brought to its attention. It has neither approved nor disapproved. It has simply taken no action in the premises and expressed no opinion. Okay, and that's the last part I'm going to read here is the rest of the loophole. And I'm going to put a button on it. Okay, yeah. So under the law creating the Federal Reserve, it was expressly provided that the Federal Reserve banks should be permitted to buy only the warrants issued by states, municipalities of the United States. The financing of foreign governments was advisedly eliminated from the act. Therefore, it was apparent that no bank could make acceptance eligible for rediscount with the Federal Reserve Bank if the acceptance were made for the account of a foreign government. Where there's a will, there's a way, and thus the way was found to use the Federal Reserve banks for the purpose of financing purchases for the allied governments. So, loophole being exploited. In this case, Federal Reserve said it's not possible with states and municipalities, and it says, well, y'all ain't say nothing about foreign governments. So, one key thing to tie the first 2 points together. So one, Secretary Bryan being outwitted. They were throwing a whole bunch of jargon at him, confusing him, didn't have the intellectual capacity to keep up with these bankers. In the end, chose to take no action. He said, you know what? I don't even know what the fuck's going on here. I don't want nothing to do with this shit. I neither approve nor disapprove of the bullshit that these people are doing. Okay? So with him out the way, they were able to do whatever, right? But that's why the whole banking industry is so confusing for people, because it's meant to be confusing. So coming back to the CBDC, this is why it's important for us to educate people, because then they know when their politician is educated on something. If your politician is more educated on the subject than the public, he would fall to the level of the public and be one step ahead of them. If you raise your level, he's got to raise his level. You raise your intellectual demands. You won't accept bullshit from your politicians. You won't accept your politicians taking to Twitter talking about abortion. You wouldn't accept that. You would say, we need to talk about more intellectual matters. Where is that subject matter? But they don't do that, and you don't hold them accountable. Therefore, you get the bullshit. You get lackluster performance. So they make it complicated. Find loopholes. Find legal loopholes. Just showed it to you. Legal loopholes. And push it right through. Because your senators, your own elected officials, aren't mentally equipped to keep up with these motherfuckers. This is intellectual war. I just showed it to you right there in my book. Patriot Report, Unmasked Conspiracy, Money, and War.
Hotep, you're a genius. HotepJesus.com.
Go get that at HotepJesus.com right now. Hey, if you want to get on the phone lines, text Hotep in your name to 202-596-5631. 202-596-5631. I'm going to show y'all some more things, and then we're going to go to the phone lines. I'm going to show y'all a couple more things when we go to the phone lines. Sorry I'm going long today, but we got a lot of information we had to fill. We had to fill y'all in with. And I know my big brain goons love it. So if they happy, I'm happy. Just don't wanna. Okay, good. So let's go back. What are y'all looking at? Okay, let's turn that off. Why is it showing that? Oh, okay. All right, let's close that. Come back. So we answered all this guy's questions, right? This is where all of this stemmed from, and I showed you the reason why we can't trust the government, why it's more than government, why it's important for us to look at this stuff. So let's come back with the update. So, shout out to Syscoin. Big Brain updated today, sponsored by Syscoin. They got something called the Digital Dollar Project. It's a nonprofit. Collaborate with the Atlantic Council. Now, Atlantic Council has fucking horrible views on the CBDC. Obviously, they're pro CBDC. But you can just type in Atlantic Council CBDC and just read the articles on their website. Just really crazy. What they like to do is they like to conflate CBDC with cash, right? And I was talking about that this morning. We'll go to that in a second. Give me a second. Go back. All right, here we go. Right here, a lie that will be repeated by the mainstream press is CBDC is a digital form of fiat currency. If I just Google that, you'll see the first entry right here says it. See it right there? Central bank digital currency is a form of fiat currency. Right? Even Investopedia, digital currency, CBDC is a digital form of a country's fiat currency. Even they'll say it. Investopedia is supposed to be a reputable source, right? This is where you go to learn about investing and Wall Street and finance and all of that. Even they're going to tell you it's a form of the fiat currency. This is how you eliminate cash. This you eliminate cash from the mind first and go, oh no, this is the same thing as cash. This is the same thing as cash. Don't worry. And you push that in people's minds, and then before you know it, they won't even know it. They won't even know. Like, wait, remember cash? People just be like, remember cash? That's what they're gonna say. I'm gonna do this update, then I'm gonna show you a video. German politician backs Bitcoin as legal tender. Says digital euro is a tool for everyone to be totally monitored. I'm going to bookmark this. This is going to be in my CBDC guide. I'll bookmark this conversation. But yes, go to my locals, hotepjesus.locals.com. My CBDC guide is going to be updated there. Let's go to the video now. I'm going to come back to that, but that's going to be bookmarked. That's a very important statement from a very important person. Let's go here to the Fed. Listen to this.
Central bank liability.
What's the theme today? It's an intellectual war, right? Watch this.
I just look around and.
So this is Waller, Christopher Waller, Federal Reserve Governor. Listen to what he says about CBDCs.
People don't seem to care about holding a central bank liability. I tell you, you get out of this room and go talk to people on the street. No one even knows what it is.
Said it right there. Y'all don't even know what it is. The Federal Reserve is discussing something. Remember I told you like the public got to be up on game more than the politicians? If they are this far ahead of you, dog, it doesn't look good.
They're not asking for it. This is something central bankers have freaked out about for the last decade, but I don't hear anybody, businesses, anybody saying, wow, I really want to have that central bank digital currency.
Now he's making a case against it, right? He's like, nobody really wants the CBDC. Nobody really wants the CBDC. And he's not the only person at the Fed posturing like that. Many people at the Fed have said the same thing. Oh, CBDC? Nobody wants a CBDC. Oh, what are you talking about? Oh, yeah? Meanwhile, they got a pilot project. Meanwhile, they got this thing right here. Right here. Let's pull this up. I'll pull it straight from their website. It's right there. This is on their website. Federal Reserve Bank of Boston. Right? This is one of the 12 banks. Right there. I mean, it ain't work. Talking about it's on their website. This is in conjunction with MIT, some of the greatest technological minds on our soil. February 3rd, 2022. This is last year that they published this. Y'all don't even know what it is. Huh. CBDC, nobody even knows what that is. Huh. Let's go to the phone lines. Text Hotep your name to 202-596-5631. I see Goldstein waiting. We're going to go to the phone lines right now.
Yeah, I can try to get that handled for you. Again, it's only my second day, so if you can give me a second. How am I supposed to do this? How the hell are we supposed to do this by 5 o'clock?
I have no clue.
Is that possible? Hey, do you have the password to... How'd you finish all your work already?
He's not tapped in.
How'd you get that done so quick?
They think they're gonna be able to budget that?
It's money. That's money right there. You understand?
You guys finished your work 6 hours early?
He's not tapped in.
What's up, y'all? We live. Goldstein, what up, man?
What's happening, man?
What's good with him? Happy Friday.
Happy Friday. Great show last night as usual.
Thank you, man. Appreciate that.
Yeah. Hey, so Trump and the landslide, huh?
Yeah, that's what it's looking like.
Motherfucking super Trump.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sent you a motherfucking, sent you a DM. Watch it later. But after you watch it, you can't tell me that that's not some weird shit right there.
Hold on.
It was not only being manufactured, my man. It's preordained.
Oh, wait, hold on. Let me see. Yo, he's like a god in Israel.
Isn't that something?
Yeah, they love him. They love him out there. They love
They
him out
literally, they literally calling this nigga they Lord in that song, bro.
there. Yeah,
on that video.
yeah, that's their man.
You know who else they consider that to be?
Who?
They're looking to see if there's any messianic ties to this motherfucker, to see if his genealogy can actually be traced to
a Messiah.
A Messiah.
Damn.
And we talking about rabbis doing this.
Damn.
Uh-huh. You know what else is odd about this nigga?
What?
They named the piece to the Golan Heights after this fool.
Yeah, that's true.
Trump Heights.
Yeah, that's true. I did hear about that.
Yeah, it's in the fucking shadow of the mountain out there where the fallen angels fell and made a pact to each other.
Well, he's that leader of that, or one of the leaders of the new right movement. This new white Christian nationalism. He's that.
Yep.
He's the icon of it.
That he is. That he is. Yeah. He's sitting there, like I said, in the shadow of the mountain where the fallen angels fell and made a pact. And that pact was where we go one, we go all. Isn't that weird?
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm just saying, Super Trump, that's all.
Yeah. No, he's definitely, you know, there. Like I said, I think he's going to be the one that brings in CBDC.
Yeah.
I think he calms the one party that will combat this, because I mean all the Democrats on the left are all in on CBDC. They all in.
They are.
They're like, this is financial inclusion. That's all you had to tell fucking what's the black lady names out there?
What is that bitch?
Maxine
Waters.
Yeah, Maxine Waters. That's what she want to do. You know what I mean? Oh, you just tell her financial inclusion and she's all in.
Yeah, it's a lot of weird shit about Trump, man. People see. They'll see in time. Nevertheless, this rise in anti-Semitism, bro.
Mm-hmm. Well, that ties into Trump. That ties into to Trump being a god.
It does. It does. But I just wish people would get this shit correct, man. Listen. Contrary to popular belief, I have quite a few Jewish friends.
Okay.
Some of my best friends are Jewish, looking ass. No, but yeah, I got some pretty cool friends that are Jewish, man. And it's just, listen, I hate to go all black Hebrew Israelite on motherfuckers right now, but I'm going to do just that.
Okay.
So I'm going to quote some scripture just so people can get an understanding as to who exactly the fuck people should be aiming at, or sometimes are aiming at, but get a little bit lost in the weeds.
Okay.
Right?
Scripture.
You got Scripture. Acts, chapter 7, verse 43. Yea, ye took up the tabernacle of Moloch and the star of your god Remphan, figures which ye made to worship them, and I will carry you away beyond Babylon. Right?
The star of who?
Moloch and Remphan. Remphan.
Phan?
Yeah, A-N.
A-N. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Remphan.
Yeah, look at how that star looks.
Hold on. Okay, hold on. I'm not getting no pictures. Hold on. Let me Uh-oh. Here we go.
And that's all you need to know.
This nigga went full Hebrew Israelite.
There's another one for the Old Testament heads who like, well, it's not in the Old Testament. Okay, yeah, it is. It says, but ye have borne the tabernacle of Moloch and Chion, your images, the star of your God, which ye made to yourselves.
Mm-hmm.
You look up the star of Remphan, you look up the star of Moloch, it's the same goddamn star. And so anybody who flies under that motherfucking star, that's who we're talking about.
Why?
That's who the fuck we're talking about.
So Remphan, I got an 8-sided star, but Moloch's coming up 6-sided.
Yeah.
In Google Images, I gotta refine my search here, but Lord
if you look
Jesus.
at the names, they're interchangeable. People like to say that that's the Star of David. That star ain't got shit to do with David.
One more star.
That star is a lot older than David. All right.
Uh-huh.
But, you know, whatever.
I see here star Remphan. So what is this image? Star is mentioned, condemned by Israel, the God of Israel, and was called by him the star, your God Moloch, otherwise called Chiun, referencing Amos. All these names. Hold on. All these names, what's it say here? All these names refer to the god of Saturn. The hexagram was brought to the Jewish people by Solomon when he turned to witchcraft and idolatry. After his marriage to the Pharaoh's daughter in 922 BC, it became known as the Seal of Solomon in Egyptian magic and witchcraft. David had absolutely nothing to do with the hexagram, and that star most certainly did not in any way represent God's people. Solomon gave himself up to satanic worship and built altars in Ashtoreth and Moloch Saturn. There is also a school of thought this way. The martyrdom of Stephen episode in the book of Acts seems to indicate that the star Rephaim is a symbol of Babylonic and Kabbalistic jewelry, and the 6-sided star of Solomon. Oh, wow.
So how that made its way onto the flag of Israel? Well, same way it made its way into fucking Israel's fucking pipeline through Solomon's weird ass.
Mm-hmm.
That's how. The Jewish people are not evil. The Jewish people are people, just like any goddamn body else.
Mm-hmm.
But even they don't understand the significance of the flag that they fly under. Kind of like we do here.
They under a spell.
That's right.
I see what you're saying.
This is a battle between good and evil. This ain't got shit to do with religion or ideology or genealogy or fucking race or none of that shit. This shit is old, very old.
Mm-hmm.
This is why you can always tell a tree by its fruits, man, and that's how you should judge.
So they gave these people a false symbol?
That's right. 99%.
I wonder how do they respond to this?
Just average Jewish people?
Yeah, like if you were to say that to a Jewish person, what would they say?
It depends. Approach dictates response, but most that I ever interact with on this tip are very receptive and understand, like, damn. You know, it's a red pill moment for them, just like I said, just like the significance of the flag over here.
Yeah.
Right? It's the same thing when you start breaking shit down like that to an American about American history and how, like you said, this shit was founded by Freemasons and ain't got shit to do with Christianity.
Right.
It's a red pill moment for them too. All them motherfuckers are on the same team. That's why you can't just say, oh, Jewish people. Nah, it's not like that.
Mm-hmm.
Evil people. But they'll throw it in your face. All these people in power and privilege sitting here like that big ass black cube down there in fucking New York. Saturnalia.
What about the cube in Saudi Arabia?
Exactly. More Saturnalia. The motherfucking the what is it, Mecca?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, black cube. all that shit has its roots, man, in a certain specific worldview that has manifested itself throughout the ages on this planet and has maintained a level of consistency, albeit it hides behind certain facades.
Mm-hmm.
You can always tell it, though. You just got to know what the fuck you're looking for. So I hope today that if there's any anti-Semites in the fucking audience listening, you will approach this thing with a little bit more decorum.
Mm. Mm-hmm.
Shit, I've been on Twitter almost a year now. It'll be a year next month.
Mm-hmm.
That entire time, I've only gotten 2 things that I've posted hit with a motherfucking hateful conduct shit, right?
Mm-hmm.
One of those 2 is today, and all I did was quote scripture.
So Britannica here says the Jewish community of Prague was the first one to use the Star of Days as an official symbol, and from the 17th century on the 6-pointed star became the official seal of many Jewish communities, though it has no biblical or Talmudic authority. That's what Britannica say. It says it has no biblical or Talmudic authority.
Right. You'd be surprised if you look back when they were starting to establish the fucking state of Israel. You would be surprised how many actual Jews were protesting the fact that they wanted to put that star on that flag. It was a big point of contention back then. This is why you see so many honest rabbis over there getting hemmed up by the IDF for supporting Palestine. And among other things.
Right.
So, yeah. Ain't got shit to do with anti-Semitism, racism, or nothing, man. It's anti-evil. You're either that or you're not.
Right.
That's all I got.
What does the Star of Rephaim look like? It has many names, but right reference is a seal of Solomon. It figures a 6-pointed hexagram star that is comprised of 2 equilateral triangles that are overlaid. Yeah. It says it right here. As it appears on many Jewish things, it is closely linked to being Jewish, as it appears on the flag, state of Israel, synagogues, tombstones, jewelry, and arrangements. No, there is no scriptural reference to this symbol. But if you have seen the Israeli flag, you have seen the Star of the Rephaim look like. Wow.
It's wild because you sit here and you see all these Christians caping for that motherfucking same goddamn symbol, right? It's in your book. It's in your book.
So look what it says right here. It says it's not exclusive to Jews. It says it's been used by Buddhists, Hindus, Kabbalah, the occultic, worship of Saturn, witchcraft. I definitely know it to be used for witchcraft, as well as a pentagram. But you know who else is listed here? Freemasons.
Yeah.
Freemasons use this symbol too. The Star of Rephaim.
Look, everybody who flies under that star, bro, I'm not going to say everybody because, like I said, most people don't understand its significance or what it means.
Right.
But you can always tell the ones who do. Those people, they extend their tentacles into every facet of human existence.
Hey, man, appreciate that, man. Appreciate that. I think it's Goldstein. Yeah, his shit just checked out. Hotep and Bill. Now that's what I like. Now that's some scholarship. Like when you call in and you tell me some shit, give me some shit where I could look it up and I could see for myself. You know, that's good scholarship by Goldstein right there. It checks out. I hate when people call in and be like, oh, look, they try to make connections between things and the connections are just too loose. I like tight connections. Pause. Andre Brown, go ahead, call in. We're going to go after Andre. We're going to go. Rudy's there. Let's go, Rudy. Have Rudy call in. Let's go, Andre Brown and Rudy. That's crazy. That's absolutely wild right there. Like, I heard about that before. I never really looked into it. It's a star, the star. I never really looked into it. I never thought to look into it because I'm kind of like, I don't really do the whole symbol thing. I like the symbol stuff. I think I'm just more concerned with like human relationships, But symbols are a big part of that. Symbols are a huge part of human relationships. So when you have something like that associated with a people, and yeah. Whew. So it's a huge red pill for some people. I'm sure. I'd love to ask a Jewish person about that. Tari said Shlomo Sands. Oh, I know Shlomo. Yeah, I've read his book before. He said he renounced his Jewish identity because of that. Really? Damn. I heard this stuff from Farrakhan. This is where I heard this stuff from. Farrakhan. Farrakhan always talks about this. Yo, Dre, what up, man?
Yeah, good afternoon, man. Two things I want to call in. I want to talk about the CBDC thing real quick because I'm from the Virgin Islands and I don't want to implement it down there.
Okay.
What Goldstein just talked about, I have believed for years upon years that whole area, what they so-called the Holy Land, is where the devil first stepped foot on earth when he get dashed outside. That's my personal belief. Now, some of the stuff that Goldstein's saying, I wish I could get my hands on that information because, like I said, I've had dreams about it. You know what I mean? And I've had dreams that all those three religions are just here to keep mankind divided against each other, so we can't, here on earth bring forth a heaven. That's just how I see those religions and most religions all together. Because if you look at the word religion, separated, re and ligre, re means like to tie back, or like do over, and ligre is like, the English word today will be ligament, what ties your bones to your muscles.
Mm-hmm.
So I look at a religion as trying to tie yourself back to God. Me personally, I have never been separated from my God because I come from him. He's in me. I'm a little G, yes. But he's in me, and I've never been separated from him, and I don't need those things. You know what I mean? And then people, instead of focusing on the message, they focus on the messenger. You know what I mean? Why we out here calling ourselves Christ and Christian? You know where the word Christ comes from? And I know Shaka Atmos comes this, but I told you this. Christ really means money if you really break the word back down to where it's supposed to be.
You said Christ mean money?
I don't want mummy, like
mummy.
mummification.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
KRX. Yeah, I can't remember the exact English, what you call it, for like it's been years since I've done that type of stuff. But you're talking about the CB, central bank digital currency.
Yeah.
I, like you, have a problem with it because why are you going to program my money? Okay. Hopefully ain't got nobody who really know me. I believe in hustling. You know what I mean? The white man only left crime for us to really get away with, even though we know we're going to lose in the end. Smart criminals have made it in a way that their kids don't have to do crime and build traditional wealth. We know some white ones, you know what I mean, that they even build a traditional wealth all the way up to one of the kids becoming a president, but they open his head up, around this time of the year, talking about Kennedy. So I feel like with this CBDC, they're going to tell you where you can buy and where you can't buy.
Right.
And so my thing is, with cash, once you cash, you can carry whether it is that you want away. You know what I mean? Once you got cash. With this CBDC, you know what I mean? People who not even illegal things like selling drugs, but not supposed to use a fruit seller. You know what I mean? We have these markets, we have outdoor vegetable markets that my grandmother used to be in one, you know what I mean, when she was down there. You know what I mean? Where local growers will come and sell their wares.
All that's done.
With
all that's done.
So yeah, all that's done and over with.
Yeah.
Because you're talking to a generation of people who know about cash. And this is how something, this is how business got run on electricity. And anybody who know about the Virgin Islands, we got the worst. We got this place called Wapa. It's horrible. If you got time, sit on the toilet, look it up. So, because it's some shit. But they ain't gonna want to deal with that. You know what I mean? And my whole thing is, what you saying that how that, oh yeah, if you don't spend it, it loses value.
Yeah.
So basically, you tell me I have to. It's basically they really try to make it seem like, oh yeah, you ain't gonna have nothing, and you gonna be happy. Now, I'm not, like I said, I called you before, so I'm not a very smart person. But sense is sense and nonsense is nonsense. If I don't have nothing, how am I be happy? You know what I mean? Sometimes I leave my grandmother's house and my father's house. You know what I mean? I want to take care of myself. I don't want to depend on the government to take care of me. You know what I mean? Because to tell you is, somebody who's living, on the system itself is not all that fabulous.
Yep.
People need. No, I start to understand why the Romans did the bread and circus. You know what I mean? And so it has to depend. It has to depend on the bigger brains of us. Like I said, most revolutions are won with a sturdy 3-4%. 3-4% of the people, because I'm a suck up all the information from you and other people about this CBDC and let my people let them know through Facebook and through talking to them, because I've never been a slave. I ain't got it to me to even be a slave. Even if I up in the house right up under master, I don't have it in me. And I don't wish nothing for nobody. I don't wish for myself. So with that, Hotep Martin Bill.
Hotep Martin Bill. Damn. He snapped. He came on the line, snapped, and was like, all right, I'm out. I like that. Rudy, call in, man. He right. Wait till you find out what was going on in a certain community in Prague, Hotep. Look it up. Oh, man. Prague, Poland. Even France got in a little bit. Germany. And I tell you, I feel bad for the Polish, man. Kazakhstan. I feel sorry for those people. Their history is incredulous. Incredulous.
Call from
Rudy the Vet.
Rudy the Vet, what up, man?
What's going on, brother?
What's good, Joe? Happy Friday.
Same shit. Hey, happy Friday, man. I calling in on some silly shit, and then you let two deep ones drop, man. I don't even feel right bringing up the silly shit, man.
What was you gonna bring up?
I was gonna bring up, all right, man. So look, you know how they call a supposed self-hating black man a coon?
Yeah.
Right? We need to come up with a word of a little marsupial that we can label the self-hating whites that teach that shit at school. Because it's some stuck-up, stupid white lady teaching that Asian kid and that Indian kid that America is shit and we're the worst place in the world, man. And white people suck, and it's a white woman teaching that shit. So what I'm saying is, man, we need to come up with a name for a little marsupial, and so I can try and start a trend, man.
Y'all definitely need a name for it. Y'all definitely need a name for
man.
it. Y'all need a name.
I'm asking help, man. I'm asking the Hotep Nation, man. Start a poll, man. We need a name, like a beaver or something like that, man. Or something stupid, man, because this shit is crazy, man. This shit is crazy what they teach kids in school. They teach them hate, man. It's crazy, man. It's honestly crazy, man.
It's
Brother,
I don't know
crazy,
I don't know if it's hate.
It is, brother. It is. It's self-hate, brother. It's self-hate, man. It's self-hate, man.
I don't know if it's
I'm telling you, man.
hate. I think it's more because I don't think these people actually feel anything, right? They're operating off of a program. So it appears to be hate, but they don't even know what the fuck they're not even like these kids that are saying these things. They're just writing a fucking project. You know what I'm saying? This is more dangerous than hate. This is like systematic population reduction. You know what I'm saying? This is something different.
Yeah, it is different, ain't it, brother?
Yeah, this is something really weird.
Well, look, man, I'm keeping it short and sweet, man. Great week, man. Great week. That Alex Jones shit was tight, man.
Thanks, man. Appreciate you.
You were so on point, man. He's got a big audience, man. That was man, 100, man. You hit that nail on the head.
Hey, thanks, man. Appreciate that.
I wish all black people were smarter than Hotep Jesus. I wish all white people could burn it up, brother. Burn it up, man. You got Alex going. You got him on a rant, dude. I love that soundbite, man. Have a good one, brother. Hotep and Bill, man.
Ah, yeah, Hotep and Bill.
I wish all the black people were as smart as Hotep Jesus. And I wish all the white people were as smart as Hotep Jesus. And I wish all the Hispanics were as smart as Hotep Jesus. Because that guy, he really gets it. He knows how to boil it down.
Thank you, Alex. I get emotional sometimes when I think about how much Alex Jones has done for me. Sometimes I get emotional about that. He's done a lot for me. A lot of things he didn't have to do. Didn't have to do it. You know, and we got some work in the future. We got a lot of work to do together in the future. We got a lot of work together to do in the future. We really do. We got time for one more. Did we talk to Strong Dad? Wait, what the fuck? Strong Dad, call in. We didn't talk to Strong Dad. He fucking... What the fuck? That's how many people called in or texted. Like, the thing is fucking... It's packed. It's packed. I'm trying to, like, read them all. Trump's mother's maiden name was Christ. Thanks, Tari. Nice little nugget over there. Nice little Rumble ran over there. Shout out to the Rumble people donating to the cause. Shout out to the people over on Rumble putting their money in the Hotepistan.
Call from
Strong Dad. What up, yo?
Hey.
What's good, yo? My bad. I didn't even fucking see you there.
It's all good, man. I'm just sitting here staining 350 boards. Just listening to the show, getting my meditation on.
Putting that work in. I love it.
So, I was thinking about this. I took some time, and I feel like I came up with a good way to have a concession for the diet plan in Hotep Nation.
Okay.
All right, so hear me out.
All right.
Hear me out.
Okay.
How I look at this, first of all, I was listening to what you were saying later on the show yesterday, and to understand your point better, yes, the white man needs red meat, and not only does the white man need red meat, those who have some white man DNA in them, they also do well with red meat, and that's pretty much what I'm saying. So yes, you're right. When you're saying that, that's pretty much what it is.
The white man needs red meat.
The white man needs red meat because his body does well on red meat, and the reason why some people in Black America do well eating red meat is because they also have just that right combination of white man DNA that allows for them to react positively to it.
Yeah.
And I'm not just speaking for the white man. There might be other cultures that are like that as well, but I'm not astute enough to understand that, so I won't speak for them. But I do happen to know that.
Mm-hmm.
So how about we do it like this? We look at the citizens of Hotep Nation, right, of Hotepistan, the way they're looked at in Plato's Republic, all right? you have the normal class of people, right? Your regular Hotepistanians. But then you have those who are in the warrior class or some sort of subclass under that, right? Which would be, you know, Cassius Cam, Canon Hotep, myself, Goldstein. And they are given the ability to live in a way that suits their station, that allows for them to suit the society the best. So, you know, they have lands that are separate from the general public typically, right? They get to do more. They have different privileges, and they don't blend their privileges with other members of Hotep Nation or of the land that they're in order to keep things pure. So what if we do it like that?
So I was thinking about this morning. I like that idea. I was thinking about this morning, right? Because my concept is we don't want to kill anything, right? Now, what if one of our animals grew old and died? Maybe we could consume that animal. You know, that would be like one of my compromises.
Right, like ritualistically, yes, I could see that being a thing, doing something like that.
Right.
You know, I could see something like that. I picture that, you know, if we're all eating at a feast together, those of us who are part of a specific class are not going to bring our meats to the table. But when we're at home, you know what I mean?
Well, no, I get your concept. I just want to show you philosophically where I'm coming from, right? Like mass harvesting animals for consumption doesn't sit right with me, right? So,
I understand.
You know, so having a farm and, you know, growing an animal for the sole purpose to kill, I just haven't come to terms with that. You know, just you know, that to me. So I was thinking about that this morning and I said, well, what if it's an animal who happened to perish, you know, and, you know, it died naturally? I'm like, there's probably some compromise.
Now, what if it's hunting? And because I was thinking of the same exact thing. I was like, you know, we can't have a lot of people because you're going to be mass farming. But
so
you know, you're going to have.
So hunting was one of my other compromises. Like, we not importing no shit. You know what I mean? Like, you want that fucking meat, go catch it. And slaughter it and do whatever else you do. Like, I still don't sit right with me, but if there was a compromise, that would probably be one of the compromises. Like, no, you got to go catch that motherfucker. And you can't use a gun.
I think that's what we're asking for. Because we're not going to be, you know, attached to the old society. So the land is pure. So we intend to use the land. You know, I'm not trying to say we intend to be the natives, but, you know, what's to say that they weren't respectful of the land that they lived in while still hunting it outside of the buffalo harvest? I know, because that's a part of their history also. And I think that was crazy. You know what I mean? But, you know, we're not trying to be 5 million strong. I would think. I think we're trying to keep our numbers, you know, pretty conservative, so that way we can have a society that doesn't suffer, you know, the ramifications of entropy, or at least.
Yeah, we're not talking about having millions of people. No. We are choosing the best of the best. We are creating a supreme race. We are creating a master race of people.
Cool. I feel like if we can just, you know, because I'm not trying to have, as far as I'm concerned, everybody doesn't need to be a Spartan. You know, we need some Athenian style, you know, potters and shit. Yeah. And they don't really need to be eating meat. You know what I mean? They need pure diets so their minds function well. But there are some of us who, we're smart, but we're trying to be formidable on the battlefield. And you know what? I'm with Goldstein. If we can't come to that compromise, I'm eating niggas. You know, pause. I'm eating people. You know what I mean? So, you know, we don't want to have to. You know what I'm saying? I'm not even gonna say it. I'm gonna keep the show. But yeah.
Yeah. It's a lot to think about here. I like where the discussion's going.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
I'm trying to be fair and release my dogmatism as well.
Yeah. I just want to create the supreme race. And I have a feeling scientifically we can't create the human race and consume animal products of any kind. It's my gut feeling. It's my gut feeling. I'm gonna produce the science from independent researchers to prove this. But I have a feeling that if we want to increase our bone density, if we want to increase our muscle density, our muscle fiber density, that's what's going to make us a master race. Also, things that are conducive with thinking and good gut health, things that pass through the digestive system quickly, which meat does not. It takes a little bit longer to digest meat than many other types of products. So yeah, we're going to be taking a look at all of this.
All right. If your scientists are fat niggas in lab coats, then the science is flawed. I need somebody to be. If you aren't elite or shown to be elite, ain't no way you can tell me what's an elite diet.
No, I disagree with that. I disagree with that.
Hey, that's like a mechanic who don't know how to drive a car.
No.
That's like a mechanic who doesn't know how to drive a car.
No, that's not. That's a false equivalent. I don't have to drive a car to know how to fix one.
I mean, all right. So if I tell you over the phone how to paint, do you think you can produce the same product that I can?
No.
That's what I mean. Now, if you've done it in the past and you just have simply forgotten or fallen off, and I tell you.
But that's not how science works. That's not how science works. Science works off of trials, right? So it's not just a one person.
Right. I mean, to a degree, but if there's no
it
understanding
thousands
of the
people.
experience,
it require a group of people to
it
prove
requires
the
thousands
science.
of people.
Right? Yeah, tests and
To
studies.
prove the science.
Mm-hmm.
Now, what type of thousands are we talking about?
And I want debate too. Because I every time, one of y'all go up against the holistic doctors, like they run. Like Western medicine always runs away from Eastern medicine debates.
I think it's. I don't know. I think that Eastern medicine is probably more right than wrong, and I think Western medicine is. I don't believe in Western medicine, but when I think about like the diet world and in the science of the diet world, I think about the variances in human beings, and I feel like that's why I stick to the nuanced perspective, because I feel like there can be nothing general about any of it.
So here's how my brain works, right? You have theory, and then you have facts, right? I need facts. I need science. I need data. So when you got that, bring it.
Is there no room for variance within facts? I mean,
bring it.
Does a fact? Is there a moment in time when a fact does not apply to one but applies to the other?
Bring that fact. Show me that. Show me where the fact does not apply to said group.
All right. I think that what we should do is you produce the results, and then we shall produce. Us meat eaters, we will produce our results, and we will meet back at the table with that, and at least in its entirety. But are we at least in agreement that the warriors have the ability to eat a diet that allows for them to be their best warriors?
I think it's up in the air.
You think it's still up in the air?
Yeah, I'm telling you that. What I'm telling you is that I don't live inside the world of Western doctrine. So that encapsulates diet as well. So this is the red pill that most people aren't ready for. And it's what they put in their mouth. This is the red pill that everyone misses.
What do you see?
This is the most resistant red pill.
What do you see European medicine as? What do you classify that as? Like medicine on the other side of the continent.
What I'm talking about is who educated you on what you put in your body? how often you put that in your body. Who educated you on that? Who sponsored that? It's all sponsored by the West.
What about when you're in like Eastern Europe? Is it the same? Do you see it as the same?
It could be.
Because, I mean, I say that because this particular, I mean, not like the diet world in general, what you're saying is 100% correct. But when we're talking about, you know, the diet and performance world, this is a more independent field. I mean, there's PhD. You know how many IFBB pros or how many high performance athletes are PhD, you know, or scientists or doctors in their field so that they can, I mean, I'm sure, yes, you do. I don't have to ask you like you don't. You're not a dullard. But I'm just saying that because, you know, these are the people who have already put a lot of the things we're even talking about to the test. So I want to know. That's why I'm really concerned of the background of who Hotepistan is going to source his information from. You know, if we're talking about, if we're looking at these scientists who have applied this knowledge, have a wealth of clients to prove it, and it's not, you know, them testing untrained people, X, Y, and Z. I feel like we have to be able to trust that.
No, I again, right? You get your information, you come to the table, I bring my information, I come to the table, and then we conference, right? It's that simple, right? If you say there's people out there that got their studies, they got their studies. Again, my issue is I'm like on a quest to be completely fully red-pilled, right? So when people come to me and they mention things like Moloch, and they come to me and they tell me people are drinking blood, and they tell me that the food supply is, I'm like, well, technically we are trained from a baby, everything has to be challenged, right? So when we talk about the consumption of animals, which I happen to enjoy, a part of me says this is a blood ritual. This is a ritual of making masses of people eat the blood, eat the dead of mass-produced for killing animals. It feels like a huge Illuminati ritual when I zoom out. It's quite gory.
Does that feel the same when you look at those who do it from the hunter-gatherer sense?
It's not those two things are not equivalent. I already said that aside.
They're not equivalent to you.
Those are
Okay.
two things that are not equivalent. When we're talking about a hunter-gatherer society, first and foremost, what people don't understand about the hunter-gatherer society is they did more gathering than they did hunting.
True.
They did more farming than they did hunting.
And that also coincides
hunting
with
usually
a
came
lot of
with
disease.
Hunting usually came with a form of necessity, right? So winter is coming. I need a new hide. Okay. Hey, look, we're gonna do some ritual. I'm sorry, I gotta take your life, but it's either me or you, right? So at that point, we're talking about
in some cases, yeah.
So at that point, we're talking about a survival, right? In survival circumstances, I have to forgive you. This is survival, okay? That animal died for my... Now, once you become an advanced civilization, you have to evolve from survival to excel, to become the pinnacle, to become the beacon of humanity, to become the supreme race. You must rise above. So I hear people thinking about survival mode as opposed to advanced mode. In advanced mode, do you do the same things as you do in survival mode? No, obviously
No,
you are able
you
to
don't.
level up and create sustainability so that you don't have to go out and hunt. You walk out and you just pick something off a tree and it
So now
satisfies
let's
your
say
needs.
so we talk about advanced mode, and that's I like that you bring that up, because when we talk about advanced mode, we have, and again, not everything works for everyone, but you have those who have turned ketosis into advanced mode, and they did that with eating animal products. So ketosis itself, not advanced mode, or
you said what? I didn't hear what you said. I was reading the super chat. What'd you say?
Oh, I'm sorry. You have those who have adapted to ketosis and use that for advanced mode, which
what's ketosis?
Implements. Ketosis is what happens when you live off of. So when you switch to animal products, and that's your body moves into a state of ketosis. You start to prioritize fat over carbs, and so your body starts to convert fat for energy. And like the carnivore, that's you're putting yourself in ketosis. Yeah. Now, some people again don't adapt to that, but then you have those who increase brain activity through ketosis, which has been proven to happen. So are they not? You see, I agree with you when we talk about the cruelty of mass production. I think that is a blood ritual in itself. However, our ancestors have also shown how eating meat advances specific actions. And we have shown that through athletics. That doesn't mean, yes, we should mass farm, but if we have a smaller society where we can actually sustain ourselves without killing off an entire population of deer, it would make sense that those willing to actually go hunt have the ability to do that based on their body's needs, because we've shown that there are people who high function on just meat-based diets, those who don't. Paul Saladino was a really good example of a guy who found a balance between meat and fruit, whereas you have, Sean Baker, who's been for 50 years, has been a carnivore, and his blood work has shown, to be pretty elite for his age, and that list is very long. So I'm saying that's why there has to be some sort of nuance, because we can, from the moral perspective, there shouldn't be nuance. Mass production is wrong. From the perspective of performance for individuality, I feel like that's not even, I mean, yes, it's up for grabs, but it's, nothing is proven a fact forever. But it's
so I want to show you, I want to show everybody something. So here's an article. This is May 23rd, 2023. It says here, tech billionaire who spends $2 million a year to look young is now swapping blood with a 17-year-old son and 70-year-old father. Okay. So they do about a liter of, I think it's called blood plasma. They swap blood plasma. Okay. And it's working. How do you explain that?
I mean, it's explainable for this person's genetics. His blood work, he's actually been on a few carnivore and a few lifter podcasts and done a lot of interviews. And his blood work doesn't necessarily beat the blood work of other high performance athletes.
What about the thousands of people what about the thousands of people that do this?
I think that works for them. The same way that I think that the thousands of people who are in ketosis today, right? That works for them. The thousands of vegans who have shown to be pretty high functioning, I think that works for them.
Vegan's a very bad word. Vegan's like a curse word to me.
I don't use vegan in the way that we know it.
Because we're not.
I don't use it in the way that we know.
It's too dogmatic. I don't like the word vegan. I don't like the word vegetarian.
Non-animal consumers. There are the point that I'm saying.
It's not even about the animals. It's not about the animals. It's about achieving optimal performance.
And that's what are we defining as performance? Is my question.
Strength, mentally and physically. Strength, mentally and physically. Resiliency. Okay. So sustainability, to be strong for a long period of time. Conditioning.
Now are each one of these metrics in their highest level of optimization, or are they all synergistically optimized? So one is skewed a little lower than the other, but in order for them all to match up at their possible collective zenith rather than individual zeniths.
Overall high performance.
call high performance. I think that omnivore living.
Again, you're just gonna tell me an opinion.
But I'm not gonna
without any facts.
I'm not gonna do that. I'm not gonna actually do that. But also, there's nothing that I say that is not provable or looked up. So I don't. My opinion is I separate my opinion from these things for the basis of finding a good understanding. I don't repeat anything that I personally believe. I only repeat what has been shown to be true. So I'm not telling you non-facts. You can look up whatever I say and find that fact.
You know how I know when I'm usually, do you know how I know when I do you know the one thing I know when I'm usually winning a debate?
What is that?
When my opponent's on the defense.
I'm not necessarily on the defense.
If I do more, if I do less talking than you considerably, you're on the defense. That's how I always know I'm winning. Whether I'm right or wrong, I know when I'm winning a debate.
Okay,
based upon that metric alone. When people get defensive, I know I'm winning the debate.
A person you can attribute a defense
and you're doing it again.
I'm not. You're attributing a motive. So if I have to speak against that, then that can be counted as being defensive. Hey, man, I love you, and I love Shaka and all of them, and I've been watching debates for a long time. So that doesn't compute with me because you're still not beating my argument. You're beating my delivery. You have a better delivery because you're 4 years older than me. So I don't count that. You're saying what you believe. I'm just repeating what's been proven, but I'm not saying that there isn't a nuance between what I have repeated that's been proven and what you believe. But I'm trying to get you to see that there is too much nuance for us to say meat is all bad, or meat is bad for performance and longevity, or it's good for it. There's so many people out here. Hundreds of years of athletics have proven the things we're already talking about. I don't see why we can't just relent. We're not talking about the average person. We're talking about, high performance. If we're talking about high performance, there's high performance athletes today who show what their blood work is. It's, there's a guy, Derek More Plates, More Dates. He'll break down blood work in a hot second and show you how a vegan athlete performs and when they switch to meat and vice versa. It's already on the table. I'm just trying to say, hey, there's nuance here. There's a chance that we're not all correct about one thing in this particular realm. This isn't like politics or something like that.
Yeah. So let me ask you this. What's my argument for a plant diet?
Well, so far I've gathered that you, one, see that there is a moral dilemma with mass production. Actually,
no. I didn't say.
Yeah, you didn't ask that question. That's not what you asked.
I'm not talking about the animals. I'm talking about plants now. Mm-hmm.
Right. Yeah. I'm sorry. No, I thought that. That's not what you said. So I don't actually know. So I don't have a solid argument or solid understanding of why you would maybe advocate for just a plant diet based off of what you said so far. I only know your reasons for not prescribing a meat diet.
Exactly. And that's what scares me about this red pill, right? This is what tells me someone is resistant to the red pill, because when you're secure in your argument, right? You're secure in your side, you tend not to defend, right? So when I say, I don't think I want to have meat consumption, I say the philosophical side, people don't say, well, what do you eat? That question never came up in the argument. It went straight to, let me defend meat. Let me talk about meat. Not let me learn about your side. And this is another lesson where I usually destroy people in debate, because I'm not consumed by my side. I want to understand your side. Now, once I understand your side, I'll completely dissect you and I'll win the debate, right? So all you did during the debate, and I'm giving you this game as, you know, your older brother. Once I get the insight, I can dissect you with the game. And when the more you talk, the more you gave me ammunition. And what I heard was uncertainty is what I learned from you. Uncertainty. Okay?
In your position. And
in your position.
But here's the thing,
in
though.
your position.
I want to know your position. I want to know your position.
But you didn't initially ask me my position. You didn't ask me.
Right.
You never said, well, what do we eat in Hotepistan?
These are things I'm learning, because like I said, I mean, you know what I'm saying, you've had 4 extra years on this earth to run through this thing.
Yes.
So I'm not trying to beat your ability to.
But my point is, because we have this debate of no meat, nobody, even in the chat, even asks, yo, what do we eat? They might make jokes and bust, but nobody even asks. I could have came up with some old technologically advanced plant from outer space and say, oh, once you eat this, you fucking gain 10 pounds of muscle. Nobody even knows my ideas for diet. So that lets me know, oh shit, I've struck a chord that is tied to the matrix. There's an emotional cord between you, the matrix, and that cord is made of red meat because everybody gets defensive. So that lets me know, shit, I didn't hit something with the matrix. I didn't hit a wall in the matrix of people's mind. Because usually when people are secure, they go, well, what are you eating? But they never do that. They always go, but what about this? And but what about that? And like, I got a super chat. He's like, yo, go look up mitochondria and red meat myoglobin. You know, I think red meat might be useful. This is what George Osei says. Right? I gotta ask you. Now I gotta ask you my next question.
Okay, all right.
You ready?
I'm ready.
Who outnumbers who? Plant life or animal life? Based upon species, types. Would you say it's over 10-1, over 100-1?
I would think a little more than that even.
Maybe even more than that, right? So there's actually more biodiversity in plant life than there is animal life.
Yes.
Okay? What I am telling you is, in Hotepistan, we're going to show you plants you've never heard of, that you've never dreamed were possible. And we're not talking about quinoa and bananas and shit like that. No, I'm talking about...
You're talking about like a Willy Wonka of food.
I'm talking about menoforder.com.
Hotep, you're a genius. Hotep Jesus.
See how I just did that? This is what makes me a genius, okay? See how I just tied that back together? Men of Order, what's in the Master Focus formula? Does anybody know? Let me tell you what's in it. Okay? Ginkgo biloba, you ever heard of that? Jabari, I set him up nice, didn't I? That was so nice. Bacopa monieri, you ever heard that one?
Yes.
Okay. Rosemary, you ever heard of that one?
Yes. You're probably not going to hear me say no. I used to make jokes.
Okay. That's fine. I don't need you to say no. I'm just asking you. I'm just asking you. Okay? Because the people at home are listening too. They're going to have to say yes too. Holy thistle.
Yes.
Ashwagandha.
Absolutely.
Okay. Cola nut.
Yes.
Okay. Lion's mane.
Yes.
Okay. Kapikachu.
Yes.
Blue butterfly pea.
I have no idea what that.
Okay, so that one you don't know.
Never heard of that.
That's fine.
That one I don't know.
That's fine. Whether you know these or not is of no consequence to my point. My point is that there is this huge outnumberance of bioavailability in plant life, yet it doesn't exist on our plate. Now, is that a conspiracy? I would have to say yes. Why is it that I can't go to the supermarket and buy ashwagandha? Why can't I do that?
You can.
What form does it come in?
It comes in powder form.
Okay.
You can't get it in a plant form unless you grow it.
What about lion's mane? Can I go to the produce section of my supermarket and get lion's mane?
Depends on which supermarket you go to.
I'm going to ShopRite. I'm going to ShopRite right down the street. They don't got this in the produce section.
You're not going to ShopRite. You're going to have to go to a natural grocery.
Oh, say it again. Where we got to go?
Whole Foods.
Where we got to go?
You got to go to a white man, to the white man grocery store.
I got another one for you.
Really, that's the white
I got another one
grocery
for you.
store.
You ever heard of Tonka Ali?
Okay. I'm in the fitness world. These are old words to me.
Okay. Why? See, that's what I'm saying. You get so defensive. Why do you get so defensive?
No, I'm just saying. I'm not.
Have you ever heard of
This
Tonka
is my
Ali?
personality.
Have you ever heard of Tonka Ali?
Yes, I have. Yes,
okay,
I have.
what do people use it
Yes, I have. People use Tonka Ali for physical. Well, all right. So I don't know what normal niggas use it for, but I know what we use it for increasing testosterone production.
For what? For what? Say that again.
For testosterone.
For what again?
Testosterone.
Testosterone. Is that a plant?
Yeah.
Is it a plant?
Tonka Ali is.
Okay.
Testosterone is not a plant.
All right.
No, but that's what in the fitness world. In the fitness world, if you're trying to boost your testosterone, a lot some of the like G tests and things like that, they have Tonka Ali. These are things to help boost testosterone. They have other effects. The list of effects in full for all of these things, I would have to go back to my research. But if you're asking me offhand what a certain thing is used for, and we use it, then I'm only going to base it off of the perspective of fitness. So, testosterone boosting, increasing blood oxidation, all those things are going to be how I approach it, because I'm trying, like you, to find mastery. But my area of mastery that I'm looking for is physical fitness. Performance is not necessarily longevity, but it is longevity on the very tail end of performance for people who are like, hey, I want to be the strongest, most jacked natural man I can. That's where I'm taking this. How can I give you the healthiest diet to put you here? I'm not going to give you the healthiest diet so that you live 100,000 years, but you might live, 1,000 years and be able to deadlift 9,000 pounds. Like, that's how I'm looking at it from the world that I'm coming from. So that's why I push back against some of these ideas, because for me, I'm looking at the wealth of evidence for those specific things. And maybe that's where my defensiveness comes in, because I think about how I've changed my life with these things, because I used to be a vegan. Or not vegan, quote unquote, but I used to not eat meat. And I've been measuring my metrics. I've been wanting to be this person for a really long time. So I've been doing the studies for just this. And so, that's why there's contention for me. And when you say, like, what would we eat? Someone asked me that. I would like to know what your perspective in that realm is, because I might have thought that once before, and we diverge at longevity and performance in its entirety.
Nigga,
that's how I'm viewing it.
What I tell you, when you come to Hotepistan and you try to see, you keep talking about vegan and vegetarian. No, this is the Hotepistan diet. When you do the and it's not even a diet, because diet got die in it, and ain't nobody dying in Hotepistan. So when you eat like a Hotepistani, or I should say not eat, because we don't eat in Hotepistan. See, you got to deconstruct the whole fucking system. We don't eat in Hotepistan. Eating is something you do eating is something you do for fun. Eating is something you do as celebration. Eating is a habit, right? In Hotepistan, we don't eat. We dose. We dose.
I do is
we're going to create
for pleasure.
Again. Not allowing me to go on my diatribe and talk after I let you speak. Right?
I'm sorry.
It's just signs of being defensive. It's just signs of being defensive. It's okay. It's quite all right. It's a natural human reaction. But you have to learn to discipline. You have to learn to discipline the ego from reacting. You see what I'm saying?
You're correct. You're right.
Don't just react. Take your time and sit in the bushes and analyze and then pounce. You see what I'm saying? In Hotepistan, we don't even eat. We dose to create the master race. Eating, soldiers don't have time to eat in Hotepistan. We don't have time for that. When we feed you, or when you allegedly, when you get dosed in Hotepistan, you learn how to fly. You'll be flying.
Okay.
You'll be flying. Literally. You're going to be levitating off the ground.
Sensu beans, Dragon Ball Z style.
It's some Sensu bean Dragon Ball shit I'm talking about here, bro.
I can respect, and I can respect that.
Do you know, like, let's talk about, I don't even want to mention the name, but there are people in charge of gating our diet and keeping certain things off of the market, keeping certain things expensive, keeping certain things unknown. And I hate to say it, but the climate change people be talking about this shit, but deforestation, specifically in the tropical rainforest, they discover new foods like all the time, like new fruits and all types of shit. Then they go test it, and then they test it in MIT. Then they put that shit in a pill. They make like a synthetic version of it. So these people are like, so okay. Last point I'm gonna make. Just math. I like to boil things down to math and science. Bioavailability completely outnumbers bioavailability, plant versus animal. But when it comes to our plate, we got two options: chicken, fish, or cow. That's it. I mean, you got your, goat and, some other things. Some people eat dog, right? But for the most part, you got three options. Those three options were selected for you. What if kangaroo meat is the best shit for you? What if fucking crocodile meat is the best? What if shark is the best meat for you? You know what I'm saying? Like,
people said that, but you're right. I get what you're saying.
But like, you've got to really deconstruct everything down to math and go, well, if there's millions over here and there's just 3 here, then there's something unbalanced here. Something unbalanced here. Am I the Dolph reincarnation? No. Jabari said Dolph was a vegan, meat is on the menu, case closed. What?
What if I say this statement and you see if you can agree with it? In this world, in the American world, in this world, for some people, optimized performance means eating meat. But in Hotepistan, we will have conquered that, and you will no longer need meat because there will legitimately be a better option.
Correct.
That doesn't exist in this world. That's essentially what you're saying?
That's exactly what I'm saying.
I can accept that, because if I don't have to, because here's the thing. I don't like eating. Prison did that to me. Yeah. So now I eat mainly because I know I have to, and so I only eat for performance. I'll eat the same thing for a whole entire year, every single day, with no variance, because I know this is the way that I'll operate the best. I don't really care if it tastes good. I'll get some sushi every now and then for that.
Yeah.
So, you know what I'm saying? But I feel like I can be okay if I can just dose a sensu bean a magic formula. Because if I don't have to eat, then I can train more.
That's the
You know what I'm
point.
saying?
That's my point. We need you
if I don't have to
training,
eat, I can
not
train
eating
more.
and digesting. We don't want to be digesting. We want to be burning energy quickly.
See, look at this. I've made it across the field. I understand what we're talking. I understand. I grasp it now. I'm making it too tangible on, in this area. I'm not making it something, that it could be. I'm making it what
correct.
it is now.
Right.
Okay.
I would never bring you to a place of lack. You will be in a place of abundance. And Hotepistan is a place of abundance. I mean, when they study our bodies, they will wonder how we do it.
All right.
It might not even be legal. It might, like Hotepistan might not even be United States legal based upon the shit that will be growing.
That's fine.
They outlawed iboga.
In the States?
They outlawed iboga in the United States of America. And then...
Didn't they do that with NMN?
I'm not sure what that one is. But they outlawed iboga.
Oh, my God.
And then they created a drug called ibogaine to treat people with dope addictions.
They do this with some fitness industry supplements. They'll outlaw it using the supplement, but then they'll deliver you a pill that has their quote unquote synthetic version of it.
Why are they doing that?
Because they want to manipulate our genes.
Which is what I'm saying. It's the power of the plant that we have not tapped into. Yeah, Cam. It's the power of the plant that they are hiding from us. There are plants that do shit you've never even thought was possible.
Just as long as we can,
do you realize that, like,
bacon from Goldstein's plate, I'm good.
Like, the stringency on the supplement market is like more stringent than most industries.
Yes, there's
like the things you're allowed to say. Like, it's crazy, bro. It's really crazy. Like, we just went through a whole FDA compliance, and the things we're allowed to say, I'm like, wait, but what? I can't say that? Really? Wow. Okay. All right. You got it. It's crazy.
Yeah.
They put huge limits on nature.
There's a thing called NNN. It's like this guy named Andrew Huberman talks about it a lot, but it's supposed to be some sort of miracle longevity supplement, and they banned it from being sold in the States. And so, there's a few fitness trainers online who sell it from Canada and places like that. But there's a lot of regulation on a lot of things that they discover that are good for us. And often they turn it into a poison and then give it to us. And, they sell us on the properties of its origin and not, what they're actually giving us.
That's what I'm saying. But I got to go, man. Good chat. I'm glad we made some ground. We made some ground. Hotepistan is going to be a beautiful place.
I like it. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Hotep and Bill.
Cam said he got some homies that got sober with ibogaine. Yeah. Look at this right here. I'm gonna show you. Ibogaine come right here. This is iboga. So this is another thing with Africa. I be telling you, man. Like, they coming after Africa because there's a lot of intellectual property. Like, so this is from the rainforest shrub, native to Central Africa. It's native to Central Africa. Okay. Specifically, what? It says here, Democratic Republic of Congo. Democratic Republic of Congo. Congo's got acres and acres of rainforest. It says right here, it is cultivated across Central Africa for its medicinal and other effects. Now, from that, you get right here, it says ibogaine. Because ibogaine is derived from iboga. Behind every drug is a plant. That's what you should just know. You should just know. Damn near every drug is connected to a plant. They find something in the plant, they extract it, isolate it, and then they tell you it's going to be cool. When really you might need all the compounds of the plant. All right? So it says right here, iboga shrub used for ceremonial purposes in some cultures. has hallucinogenic effects. Right? So this is what they turned into ibogaine. Right here. Says right here, what does it say? This psychoactive plant could save lives and everyone wants to cash in. Iboga plants smuggled out of Gabon provide most of the world's ibogaine, a drug that can help heal trauma and addiction. As the plant enters fair trade, officials hope regulation ensures equity and sustainability. So that's once it becomes popular, that's when you talk about diversity, equity, inclusion. The DEI is built into your plant life. It's built right in there. All this shit ties, everything we be talking about in the show, it all ties back. Fair trade, regulation. They want to regulate it. Why do they want to regulate it so bad? What else are they holding on to? What other plants are they holding on to they haven't told us about? Is it the explorations that we'll be focusing on in Hotepistan? We're talking about supreme science. We're talking about creating a supreme being. And in order to create the supreme being, you cannot be mentally dogmatic. You cannot. You must forget the old. You must forget everything you once knew to be true. At least challenge it. If you have not challenged it, in that capacity, you are dead. In that capacity, you are dead. Everything you were taught is a lie. Everything. Everything. Everything.
I wish all the black people were as smart as Hotep Jesus. And I wish all the white people were as smart as Hotep Jesus. And I wish all the Hispanics were as smart as Hotep Jesus. Because that guy, he really gets it. He knows how to boil it down.
All right. See y'all next time, man. Hey, the season almost over. Almost done coaching, so we're gonna be back to the weekend, to the weekend stream. So look out for that soon. Hotep and Bill, enjoy your weekend, man.
Yeah, I can try to get that handled for you. Again, it's only my second day, so if you can give me a second. How I'm supposed to do this? How the hell are we supposed to do this by 5 o'clock?
I have no clue.
Is that possible? Hey, do you have the password to... How'd you finish all your work already?
He's not tapped in.
How'd you get that done so quick?
They think they're gonna be able to budget that?
It's money. That's money right there. You understand?
You guys finished your work 6 hours early?
He's not tapped in.